I'm making some of the most satisfying and viral Halloween food TikToks. Then at the end, I have a secret mystery surprise for my two boys, and we're gonna have a giant Halloween movie night. So I have got my spooky coffee, make sure to get yours. For this first one, it is possibly the easiest, literally out of everything that we're gonna be doing today. It is so incredibly easy. I've seen a couple of different videos ranging up to like 2 million views, and honestly, it's the simplest, easiest, like little Halloween food hack I think you could possibly ever do. I'm going to be doing this one that has just over 600,000 views. So start off with a couple of biscuits. On the video she uses cookies, but honestly it doesn't matter, just use whatever you want. And then I'm just going to melt down some white chocolate because we need it for the next step. I've got the white chocolate. I'm going to do it a little bit different to her. So she puts the marshmallows in and then puts them in the fridge to set before she then puts them on the biscuit. But I'm all about that simple life, so we're just going to chuck them in. And then once we've coated them in the white chocolate, I'm going to put a little bit of white chocolate onto the biscuit. Then I'm going to top it off with that marshmallow, and then I'm going to put the whole thing in the fridge to set for maybe just a couple of minutes. Now she adds some chocolate onto the outside, but I do have a big bag of chocolate pellets. I'm thinking I'm going to probably try and cut one in half for the two eyes, and then I'm going to use one for the mouth, and hopefully it's going to look as good. Like, why does he look like he's got a dummy in? Or he just looks really angry and annoyed. I think the eyes are dropping. It is so cute, but the eyes are dropping because it's too heavy, and it's starting to look a little bit like a ghosty sloth. So I've got another idea. I've also got these like candy eyes. I don't know what I'm going to do for the mouth, but I'm going to try these candy eyes and see if they'll hold up. I feel like it's just like a melting, very sad ghost. I think I'm gonna have to put them in the fridge for a couple of minutes, try and get that chocolate to harden up a little bit, and then see if I can stick them on. I'm gonna use a little bit of chocolate after to stick the eyes on. That is our little ghosty biscuits done. So I'm not getting rid of the chocolate or the little candy eyes just yet, because for the second one we're gonna be making some zombie ghost kind of mummy truffles. The first thing that we need to do is get some Oreos over to the blender and get them crushed up. So you just want to stick the full thing in there, blend it all up until it's like a fine crumb. Got the Oreo crumbs, we're just going to pop them into a bowl. And make sure to get everything out, because those bits that's got the frosting in are going to help it stick together. Everything else is completely mushed, and we've just got like one biscuit that survived. It then says to mix it with some cream cheese until it forms like a dough. There's no specific measurements with this one, so I'm kind of just guessing as we're going along. I don't think it needs much to come together because you've already got that bit of vanilla frosting in it as well. So then she says to shape it into a ball. It's like holding up quite well. These are like a really cool, easy treat. At one pack of Oreos, you get about 8 decent sized truffles. So now I'm just going to stick those in the freezer for about an hour, just so that they can harden up, so that I can dip them in that white chocolate. So the truffles have been in for about an hour, and oh my goodness, they're frozen together. I'm just going to stick them in these muffin cases, just so they don't stick together again. Literally just going to take it, dump it in, and cover it in that white chocolate. Right. That's the first one. I'm already making a gigantic mess. Now it's already starting to set up because those truffles are so cold, but I am going to pop them back into here, and we're just going to pop them in the fridge for a couple of minutes just so I can make sure that they're like fully set. So now that it's set up a little bit, I'm just going to take some more of that white chocolate, and we're just going to give it a little kind of drizzle going over. That's actually really cute. Of course, we are adding on even more of them cute little candied eyes. Now please look at them. Look at how cute they are. They're like little mummy truffles. Now up next with over 2.6 million views is these absolutely adorable hot dog mummies, and oh my goodness, do I love these. I think they are so cute. Again, look, you just stick those candy eyes on and it turns them from just like a pig in a blanket into like a hot dog mummy. I'm gonna take some pizza dough, then we're just gonna take some hot dog sausages. Now I'm going to take some hot dog sausages. I'm going to do a couple thin slices of that dough. I feel like this may now have like been left out for too long, so it's a bit soft. So we're going to take one of our pre-made sausages. The texture of these freaks me out a little bit. I used to love hot dogs, but the texture is just a little bit We're literally just gonna wrap this pizza dough around the hot dog. We're like gonna make it all join at the beginning. We're just gonna like keep moving it and twirling it around until it's completely covered. And then this is pretty much like what you want to end up with. You don't have to be too specific with the design, it's just kind of really random. I'm just gonna repeat that same process for all of the others. So in the video, she literally just takes some tomato sauce and sticks on some more of those candy eyes. You literally just stick these candy eyes on and it turns anything into like a Halloween spooky treat. No, but why is that actually so cute? I think that's probably like my favourite yet, which has literally took me like 10 minutes to make. Now for the next one, there's quite a few videos circulating of different recipes and different ways of basically how to do this one thing. Some have over 2.4 million views and use Nutella. This one is going to be a savoury one because we've already got so many sweet things. Now the one that I've seen has just under 1 million views and it is to make these pizza pumpkins. So I'm going to use the rest of that pizza dough that I was using earlier. Now some of them I've seen are using a cookie cutter to cut out a circle shape and others are just cutting it into squares. So I'm not wasting the pizza dough, I think I'm just going to cut it into squares. To that I'm just going to add a little bit of sauce on the bottom. You can use a homemade sauce, you can use a pre-made sauce, it really doesn't matter, just whichever you prefer. Then I'm just going to take some mozzarella. She sprinkles it in, I just prefer fresh mozzarella. Then we're just going to put in a couple of slices of pepperoni. Now we're going to grab all of the edges and bring them up to the top together. Right, so then she takes some string, I'm not quite sure how much, I'm just going to take quite a big bit and then cut it down into some smaller pieces. I'm also not sure if it's going to burn, so I'm going to wait just to be safe. So she literally just knots it. I think she knots it like a couple of times and then just snip the ends off. And then again put in the opposite direction. I'll probably just do it with one piece of string. I'm just not smart enough to know how to like crisscross it all over. I don't want to do it too tight because you don't want to pierce through that dough. You're just going to keep tying it across until you've covered every section. Basically, you just want to make some sort of like pumpkin shape. I'm just going to finish off the rest. We're going to pop them on a baking sheet and then pop them in the oven and bake for about 10 to 12 minutes until they're golden. Now I'm going to be honest, I don't know what quite happened with these. I don't know what I've done wrong. Listen, it's still going to taste incredible because it's pizza, but why have they all just like spilled? I mean, it smells good. Let me take all of the actual strings off and then we can get a proper look. I feel like as soon as you start taking the strings off, it's just falling apart. I think if we just stick something in the top of that to make it look a bit more like a pumpkin, I'm gonna call it a win and say that I have in fact made like pumpkin pizzas. Honestly, it's a little bit faffy and I don't know if it's worth the effort. All in all, it's really cute. So if you can be bothered with the mess and the faffing about, then give it a try. So now for the last bonus mystery surprise, we are going to be doing this one. Now this is not necessarily viral, but I thought it was kind of satisfying in a very disgusting kind of Halloween way, which is exactly what we're going for. She basically takes a skeleton, she lays it down on the table and she covers it in, is it prosciutto? And oh my goodness, it literally makes it look like flesh. I'm going to start off by layering some tinfoil on the table because that is literally going to be our serving plate, is going to be the table. And then I'm just going to lie down that little mini skeleton and we're going to take those strips of prosciutto and just layer it over to literally make it look like flesh. Now I'm just going to decorate the rest of it with all of our little treats that we've made. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button because it really does help out. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.